Good morning, everybody. Uh, I, I just wanted to just get on here for a little while this morning, and uh, and I just want to thank God, and I want to praise God for just a multitude of answered prayer from others in my own life lately, and I mean, it's just been one after another, and I just want to thank everybody who has taken the time to pray for me. And I include my online church here. I mean, my online friends here, and my own home church. And there's just been so many. I mean, so many of you have just been praying for me, and I and I am just so very, very grateful. And I got a lot of good news this week, and I've just been feeling, I mean, just a whole lot better almost with each passing day, it seems, and I'm just so grateful to others for taking the time to keep me in their prayers. And I know that about a month ago, I started to get a burden also to be praying for other people. And as important as soul winning is to me, and it's extremely important to me. I mean, it's just always been. I am convinced, though, that there's nothing more important than intercessory prayer for others. I, I am just convinced that it is the best weapon we have. Uh, and I've just been thinking about some of my friends, and yeah, and there's a lot of people, and they're going through a lot right now. Uh, and I'm not going to mention last names, but I'm just going to name some people. And I just like to ask you all just to keep these people in your prayers. And I like to start with a lady by the name of Jill, and she has a hard surgery coming up on Monday. And this surgery would last about 6 to 8 hours. And she's already been told after the surgery that she's going to be in almost unbelievable pain. And I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, but I'm told that they get you out of bed just about immediately, and that and that the pain is almost unbearable, and some people just can't do it. But if you don't do it, apparently it can set you back. And so I'm just praying for Jill. I'm just praying for these doctors, and that the night before, and that they get a good night's rest. And everybody who will be with the one that will be working on Jill, I do pray that they'll get a good night rest on Sunday night. And and I just pray that the Lord just guides this surgeon's hand, and that this surgery just comes off. I mean, that it just comes off well, and that there's no complications. And I just do pray for Jill so much, and I do pray for her husband Dave, who has got some issues, and too with his physical well-being. And I just do pray, and I do pray that you would pray with me that the Lord would keep Dave healthy during these next several weeks until he gets to go to where he's going. And so I just like to lift up Joe in prayer. And then I have a friend and from a church that I used to go to, and her name is Lucy. She had a brain surgery done to the left side of her brain about 3 months ago, and by the grace of God, it was a success. And on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, they're going to do the right side of her brain. And I just ask that you be in prayer for Lucy, her husband Ken and I used to have the 6 and 7 year old boys at the old Bible Baptist Church in New York, and I just pray, Lord, that you lift up Lucy in prayer, and that you lift up her husband Ken in prayer as they prepare for this surgery on Tuesday, and that's going to be down in Philadelphia. And I just pray that you continue to pray for Chaplain Bill, who is recovering from a very difficult surgery he had. And several months ago, maybe 2 months ago now, but it's going to be a long recovery overall. And I just pray that you all would join me in prayer for Bill and for his wife Patty and for their family. I also pray for Suzanne and Becky, and they endure pain on a daily basis, and they just have a lot of physical issues, and I just pray that you would join me in prayer for Suzanne and Becky. And I do pray for Janet. Janet is just a dear friend, and she's got some health issues, and just pray that you join me just in daily prayer for Janet. And I also pray for Patty, another dear friend of mine, Lord, and I just do pray that you would join me in daily prayer for Patty. And Patty has a friend by the name of Jerry that is going through a lot right now also, Lord, and I just pray that you all would join me in prayer for this lady by the name of Jerry. And I pray for Carol. Most of us know Carol, and she's going through what nobody should have to go through. She lost her best friend, and she lost her daughter within just a few days of each other. And I just do pray that we would all just continue just to lift up Carol on a daily basis. And I do pray for Sharon and for Kathy Hunt. And I know that they deal with pain on a daily basis, and they never complain, and they just get up every morning, and they do so much for others, and I just appreciate each one of these sisters so very much. And I just do pray, Lord, that I just do pray that everyone would join me in prayer for Sharon and for Kathy. And I do pray for Sherry, who endures a lot of pain every day, and she never complains. I mean, she gets up and she goes to work and she does what she needs to do, and she never complains. She just and she would rather spend time praying for others than and then to be worrying about her own needs. And Sherry's just a sweet sister, and I just do pray that you would join me in prayer for Sherry. And I do pray for Karen and for Hal and for their Aunt Ruby, and some of us know Karen and Hal. I guess maybe some don't, but and they too. They've been having some issues, and I just do pray that you would join me in prayer for Aunt Ruby and for Hal and for Karen. Karen just recently got out of the hospital, actually, and I just pray that you would join me in prayer for these three people. I do pray for Cora, for Coco, I'm sorry, not Cora. And she had a double mastectomy not too long ago, and I just do pray, Lord, that you would join me in prayer for Coco, and that she would have a nice recovery from that. I pray for Willis. He has got and he's got some issues with his back, and he's got some issues with his heart, but he did find out that his heart is maybe not as bad as they thought, and they might be going ahead and they might be doing the back surgery. And if they would decide to do that, and I'm sure that you'll all join me in prayer for Willis, and that would be a successful surgery also. I apologize. I apologize if I have forgotten anybody, and I'm sure that I may have, but there's a lot of others too, and I just pray, and I just pray for all of them, and I just pray for everyone that I just mentioned, and that we would never underestimate the power of intercessory prayer. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, that calls me from a world of care, and bids me at my Father's throne make all my wants and wishes known. In seasons of distress and grief, my soul often found relief, and oft escaped the tempter's snare by thy return, sweet hour of prayer. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, thy wings shall my petition bear to him whose truth and faithfulness engage thy waiting soul to bless. And since he bids me seek his face, believe his word and trust his grace, I'll cast on him my every care and wait for thee, sweet hour of prayer. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, may I thy consolation share, till from Mount Pisgah's lofty height I view my home and take my flight. This robe of flesh I'll drop and rise to seize the everlasting prize, and shout while passing through the air, farewell, farewell, sweet hour of prayer. And farewell to each and every one of you. And I'm just going to sign off here now. I'm getting dangerously close to my 15-minute mark. And but let's just keep on keeping on. Let's just keep on praying for others, and keep on telling others about Jesus too. I mean and that is so vitally important also. And let's just get out there. Let's just get the word out, and let's not even be thinking about what the world might think of us. I know sometimes it's difficult. I know some people think that I'm this great soul winner, and I'm not. I get nervous too when I start to witness somebody about Jesus. I can feel it in my stomach. I can just feel it. And sometimes I have to pray and that the Lord would knock down the paper wall between me and that person. So, I mean, it is hard for me. And so if it's hard for you, and I'm sure that it's hard for a lot of people, and I'm only 11 seconds away, so I'm going to say goodbye, and I love you all. Catch you all later. I love you.